Active FM. Radio has never been better.
What is up?
How you doing?
I'm Sash.
My name's Ryan.
And this is
Another adventure
On the Movie Show!
Yay.
Du-du-du,
Did you notice how... Okay, did you watch the trailer for Indiana Jones? This is the fifth
This is
movie.
the fifth, the Dial of
Yes.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I didn't even know its name. I just knew it was Indiana Jones.
Yeah, 5.
That's all I knew.
Indiana Jones 5.
Did you watch the trailer by any chance?
I actually am terrible. I don't watch trailers.
You didn't watch so okay, I don't watch before, I watch afterwards. Just to, because you watch the trailer, you're like, wow. Oh, is that how they did the trailer? Okay, cool. And so this movie was not directed by Spielberg.
Yes. The fourth one was,
All
right?
of them were, yeah. All of them,
Yeah.
2008, all the way up until 2008.
Yes.
And then this one now was...
Wait, did that one come out in 2008?
I was also shocked.
I know that it was a long time ago,
You,
and
really
I don't
spread
really
this thing,
remember
eh?
it, but I remember it.
Yeah.
And it was 2008.
He really spread this thing,
insane.
From 60 something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
60 or 70.
You know what's crazy though? So originally, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and Paramount Pictures first agreed to 5 Indiana Jones films in 1979. So in 1979, they were like, we're going to make 5. Then they obviously did the trilogy. And then in 2008, they did the 4th one. And then shockingly enough, in 2023, the 5th one came out. But this release actually almost completed that first agreement that they made to make 5 films.
And the obvious question was, but Harrison Ford looks well-aged. How are they going to do it? And then everyone's like, yeah. They're going to CG. They're just going to just click CG.
It used to be makeup. Now it's...
Yeah, deep fake.
Yeah.
So they're going to deep fake him. But that's going to look terrible. But the way that they did this was very... So obviously, if you've watched the film, all right, spoiler alert right here. I don't know about you. This movie is quite fresh off...
Yeah, it came out now.
Fresh out the machine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it just came out of cinemas.
Yeah.
It didn't do well though. But I think that one of the reasons it didn't do well was because of how high its budget was. And I think naturally, if your budget is high, you have to make more money just to do well.
You got to make up.
Yeah, you set your Avatar. You set your standard really high.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why it didn't do well was just because. Yeah.
And not only that, but I mean, I know that the director wanted to give it a go at Indiana Jones. So that's what he said. And do you have the director's name?
I do. His name is James Mangold, and we need to talk about this man.
Because he's done other films.
He has done other films.
That is very well.
And it's shocking the amount of films that he's... I don't know who that is. No, you do. You do know who this is. You just don't know that you know who this is. That's what's happening.
You guys understand what you just... You don't realize that you actually know who this is.
You know who this is. I'll tell you who this is just now. I'll tell you. But Ryan, go first.
Yeah. They say that this director he does very well at a large genre.
Yeah, you wouldn't... That's what I'm saying.
Films.
You don't know that you know him. Must I tell you why?
Which actually makes him a good director.
It does make him a very good director.
Because we said that when a director or an actor has a certain...
a wide range.
Yeah, like Mr...
Oh, wait, are we talking about low range or wide range?
No. Well, most of them have a very... I suppose it's not good or bad. Depends on who it is. Because I do enjoy a good, the Transformers...
Michael Bay. But
movie.
you can see it's a Michael Bay
But it's
film.
such an enjoyable film.
Yeah, no, it is a good film.
So it's okay. It's all right. But
it's like a Christopher Nolan film. You can just tell this is a Christopher Nolan film.
Go watch Ambulance and go watch Transformers and try and count the amount of lens flares there are. And the different color ones that he uses. And the wide... And he does do something new. But anyway, I diverse. So going back to this film... the director has a large amount of different genres under his belt.
I feel like he every film he makes, it's I don't want it to be like the previous one. I want something new, something fresh. Yeah.
He was brave to make this film.
He was brave to make this film.
Because Spielberg is an absolute, he's a
legend.
Legend, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So very brave. And
also, I think he was... You know what I also think could have been the problem with this film? Indiana Jones is not this generation's vibe. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I know Indiana Jones...
I told my parents-in-law, because I knew that it was their
exactly.
Yeah.
So like and I'm talking specifically now like teenagers, like, you know, the people who are like ultra vibing on social media and causing serious hype around certain things. Those type of people, I don't think are going to go crazy for Indiana Jones. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that could also be one of the issues. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the first film was like in 1960. I was actually shocked to see how long. We're talking about before Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like before CG, like when they had real big rolling rocks and that sort of. This was like
It was all
Spielberg's
practical effects.
like thing. You understand? And then, of course, you get the theme. So you really have to, you know, it's a cake and you have to make it look like a cake. And if you try and throw your own style on it, then you get fat cake. Or you get something else
You're going to mess it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he was very brave to do it. And I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the film a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I must be quite honest.
Lots of action, adventure. He's got the classic old hat and whip.
Even the fact that they didn't. So obviously, when Indiana Jones was like originally set, it was during like World War II.
I didn't realize he was that old, eh?
I also didn't realize he was that old.
With like the modern day. This film is set in 1969.
That's modern day.
And that's the modern day.
Yeah, that's the like. That's Indiana Jones old. Also, okay, no, wait. We're moving away from the director. Let's first do the director, then we'll go there. So, James, right, the director. Let me give you some of the other films that he's done. So, one of the earliest films, I was completely shocked. Oliver and Company. Do you remember Oliver and Company?
I don't.
The cartoon with the cat.
Let me guess. We did this movie session.
No, we did not do this movie. This is a movie I grew up with.
Okay, so
this
we're
is
on the
like
same page here.
This is like my childhood.
Oliver Cat.
Oliver and Company.
Oh, Oliver and Company.
Oliver is a cat. Yes, Oliver is a cat, but the movie's name is Oliver and Company. But like, that's like, what, I'll give you the year. That is in 1968.
68. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Okay, wait. I don't know if he directed it, but he was definitely involved in that film. But I mean, that's how long he's been in the film industry. He's from the 60s, which is also pretty impressive. But then other films that he's directed, so he did, have you ever watched a movie called Kate and Leopold with Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman?
Can't say that I have.
That was a cool film. He also did The Call of the Wild, and then he did Logan in 2017.
Yes, Logan.
He did The Wolverine in 2013.
Yes.
He did Night and Day in 2010 with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. And then I think my favorite film is Ford versus Ferrari.
There you
When
go.
I saw that he did Ford versus Ferrari, I was just like...
I was like, wait, what?
What?
What, producer?
That's the dude that did...
Writer? What? And you know what? It's weird. When we did Ford versus Ferrari, which we did do Ford versus Ferrari.
We did do Ford versus Ferrari, yes.
When we did it, I actually remember saying about this director also that he's got a wide variety of films under his belt, strangely enough.
So to go from like something like Ford versus Ferrari to Indiana Jones...
And Oliver the Cat.
One
and
thing,
Company.
Oliver, not Oliver and the Cats, Oliver and Company. So what I was going to say was Harrison Ford. People, do you know that Harrison Ford is 80 years old?
Yeah.
He is 80.
Yeah.
And then do you know that some people had the nerve, they actually had the nerve to say that he's out of shape. I was like, let's look at how you look when you're 80.
Yeah.
No. Let's look at what they look like when they're 80. He has a full head of hair. He actually has a very good physique for an 80-year-old. Plus, he's very fit. He's mobile. He's moving around. I was like, you don't understand, people. You don't understand. You actually don't understand. You're out here and you have no understanding. So I actually think
My grandfather
looks
was
very
80. And believe me, a stick and we had to like try and move him around.
Mobility is often a huge thing.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, he did like stunts in this. In fact, and he got injured.
Yeah, he got injured. He hurt his shoulder. Shame.
And he's still fine.
That was one of the reasons.
At the Oscars, he was like waving, you know.
Had gone. He was like, "What's up, people?" Yeah, no. So I think he. And I think it's cool that he was able to reprise a role as a main lead. Some people hated on him because they're like, when you get to that age, you shouldn't be the protagonist in a film. I'm like, oh,
why?
Okay.
Why?
Yeah. So
who said so?
I actually think he did a good job.
He did.
Yeah.
He did
so
do
that was pretty good.
He did very well.
One of the things I really loved about this film was the production design. So, like, obviously they went back to World War II, and, like, that was really cool to see, you know, like, on the train and by the castle, burning all of the different artifacts that the Nazis had stolen. But then what I really, really loved was when they went, obviously, like, modern day, as you said, was the 60s, and it was the 60s, and it was the astronauts had just landed on the moon, and there was this huge celebration, and just the whole, it looked like the 60s. You're like, even the subway, like, everything, like, the production design was really, I thought the production design was on a huge scale as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a street, you know. Or,
there was some inner city stuff shot and all of that. When you watch the trailer, I'm not too familiar with the other Indiana Jones, but as far as I could remember, it might start a bit in the inner city where they're like whatever in a village somewhere or something like that, and then a majority of the film, like a large majority, I'm talking about like 98% of the film is in a jungle or in the desert.
Somewhere.
You know, with this one, you kind of see them like a large percentage in a city kind of thing. So when you watch the trailer, you actually see that, and you kind of get that feel like, oh, this is Indiana Jones. He's back. He's in the city now, and he's
old,
riding a horse in the city.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
And he probably really rode that horse.
Do you think so?
At 80.
Do you think so? Yeah, he probably did.
I stand to be corrected.
The horse did not look CG.
I mean, I sit to be corrected because I'm sitting right now. I'm sure someone's commenting right now. Can someone at that age ride a horse?
I think so. Look, he looks like. Did you see behind the scenes
but
pictures
he really
and
did
stuff?
do some.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look.
Stuff.
He doesn't look.
No.
What's the word? Fragile is in my mind. It's not the word.
He doesn't.
He does frail. Frail's the word.
No, I agree.
He doesn't look frail.
I agree.
And apparently he also did a lot of like, he actually prepped his body for the role. So I think he did a lot of riding and walking to actually prep himself for the role. So he prepped himself, people. He did what he could do, you know.
He jogged up 2 steps every day.
No, Ryan. No, not 2 steps. Really, Ryan? Really?
He started off with 2 steps. I'm joking. He's fit. He's fit.
He is fit. He's
been in the Star Wars franchise as well, like recent Star Wars films as well. In fact, they killed him off. Yes.
But I also think what was cool about this film was you saw. It's actually sad because you're seeing like a lot of actors who you knew to be like, you know, the stars, and they've aged. So like you had Harrison Ford, you had Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, and they killed him off just like that, eh?
And then also, I don't know this actor's name, but he's do you know who I'm talking about? The taxi driver.
Yeah, that guy.
Who
was that?
He's been in so many films.
I've seen him, but I don't know him. But
you know him.
But I've seen him. I thought maybe that was like Sean Connery kind of thing. But I was like, wait, Sean Connery, did they just deepfake Sean Connery?
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
It is, I'll tell you his name.
But he is in the other ones.
John Rice Davies.
Yeah, Rice.
That's his name.
Mr. Rice, yes.
So films, Ryan, you do know him. He was in all of the Indiana Jones.
But I don't know him.
He was in Lord of the Rings. He was Gimli. He was the dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
Really? Yeah, but Lord of the Rings.
He's in Princess Diaries. Did you ever watch Princess Diaries?
Yeah, sure.
I'm pretty sure you watched Princess Diaries.
My favorite film.
He was in Aquaman 2018.
What?
He was in... He's in a lot of films. He was in Aladdin, the 1996 version.
I recognize him from
the 1996 version.
Yes.
You recognize his voice?
I don't know why I recognize him, but yes.
Oh, do you remember One Night with the King?
Yes.
He was Mordecai.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
He was in Pompeii. This guy's been in so many films.
Yeah, he's been around.
Like I'm I'm still going down the list.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of, but yeah, it was nice to see, but it was also like, these guys are aging. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, you know how you watch, like growing up, you watch these films and you're like, The Mask of Zorro, and there's like a young Antonio Banderas, and then young Harrison Ford, and now you're just like, they're 80.
Did what's his name? The guy you just mentioned now. I cannot say his
Antonio.
name. Yes, Antonio.
Yes.
Antonio. Am I saying
He's
that
the voice
rightly?
of Puss in Boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he speak one word of Spanish in this film? Because then I'm about to say that, like, this is probably the first film he hasn't said anything
Are you sure?
in Spanish. I don't know. Yeah. You guys can comment below. Let us know if you heard any word of Spanish. For all the Spanish people out there, much love. I'm sure somewhere there, even if it was like, sí. That is Spanish, right?
That is Spanish.
Okay, good.
See, right.
Right. I see.
So let's talk about the deep fake, right?
Right, let's talk about
the deep fake. So the first, like, I'd say good 20 minutes of
Can
this
I
film.
just say,
Yeah.
the way that they did the story behind the deep fake was like the way that they implanted it into the movie was good.
Yeah. No, the opening was very good.
Because it's like the opening sequence,
Yeah,
right?
it's the opening sequence.
You kind of get the idea that you're like, okay, is this going to be the whole film? Young. And then the moment comes where he wakes up and it's in the trailer and they got like some hectic rock song there from
It's some 60s rock band.
The band's name has left me. But then you see him wake up, and then you really see him even without his shirt on.
Yeah.
And he's this grumpy old man, you know, going to the door, and he's like hectically grumpy. Are we talking about this guy that he's literally called a daredevil? That's what they call him, all right? And he like, and now, although even in the other films, while he was doing kind of his adventure thing, he was kind of grumpy while he was doing it. You know, the snake, I told you to get it. You know, he's always like this very like duh kind of. And here's this like hectic, grumpy man. Waking up in his apartment, there he is by himself. Adventure calls. And then adventure finds him. Yes. Yeah.
But the deepfake, right?
The deepfake.
The deepfake. So I personally, when I was watching it, I didn't know how they did it. But the whole time I was just like, this is like such a fake version of Harrison Ford. You know what it was? I remember watching a video and they were saying like often the thing you can tell that's not 100% right is by the eyes. Like they haven't yet successfully gotten the eyes right when it comes to like...
You're talking about the eye itself or like sort of the muscles?
I don't know,
that
just
move?
something, the eyes look fake. That's the best way I can describe it. So like...
It's because there's no soul.
It literally, it's, you know how they say, you can always tell by the eyes. It's
There's
in the
no
eyes.
twinkle.
It's literally in the eyes. Like his face looked fine, but there was just this fakeness. But
Maybe it's the motion.
I don't know,
of
yeah.
the eyeball. Now that I think about it,
I don't know what it is. But like I know, like Ryan said, he was cool with it. Personally, the whole time I was focusing on. I wasn't focusing on the story. I wasn't focusing on the action. I was focusing on this dude's face, and I was just like. It is fake, right? This is so fake. This is fake, right?
Up to 80 times zoom.
So like that was my personal experience. But I will still say it was a good deep fake.
Yeah.
But now this is where it's like in order for CG to be, or any digitalized anything in a film, in order for it to be good, it's supposed to be unnoticed.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like if the best CG goes by unnoticed.
It depends on obviously what the film is.
Yeah, like Avatar just came to
So
my
like
mind.
Avatar, you're like, wow, I want to go there on holiday. No, it doesn't exist. What?
No, but
I'm so
the
disappointed.
fact that you want to go there on holiday
yeah.
proves that in your mind you're
It's
believing
realistic.
what you're seeing.
I agree with
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I agree
So
with
when your mind is telling you this is not real, I think that's where the problem comes in. And I just think we haven't gotten to that point of technology yet where it's gotten to that. So like, yeah, it's good, but we can still go, this is not real.
Yeah. In fact, before we started recording the show, I was saying to Sashi that for me, CG glory days are over. So in other words, nowadays when something awesome and really fantastic and brilliant happens in a movie that's like you can't do in real life, your brain automatically just says, yeah, CG. Oh, damn, the car exploded and it took out the whole planet. Oh, what are we going to do? We don't think like, whoa, what an explosion. How did they do that? You don't think anything like that.
Yeah.
In fact, we're shocked when it happens for real.
Yes, I was just about to say
like,
that.
What? They really blew up the moon?
For me, I'm like, oh my goodness,
Wait, guys.
they did that for real.
Exactly.
Like when you hear Christopher Nolan barely had like any CG
Or
in
Michael
Oppenheimer,
Bay.
you're like,
Yeah.
how? And I remember watching Oppenheimer and some of the shots I was just like, how did he do this?
Exactly.
Like that's now, like I think we're in that stage where it's like, if it's not CG, you're like, wow. So practical effects have become like what CG used to be.
Our ruling, yeah. But I think for me, what made the deep fake help was the fact that it was Harrison Ford playing himself. Yeah. But what's crazy is that you know that Harrison Ford acted like he acted. He had an old South version of Indiana Jones and a younger version. Like there's this thing that the younger Indiana Jones always does, and it's always this like does this like contempt or this like smirk on his face, like yeah, kind of thing.
Yes.
That even when they were doing recording as his younger self, because he was obviously the digital replacement.
Yeah.
That he would do, he acted as his younger self. So if you go to the behind the scenes, you can actually see him acting as he's like his whole face, like the older version of him is sort of this like, the weight.
Yeah.
And then the younger version is like very animated and that helped a lot to putting it. But maybe they could have at least just kept the eyes. Like, give me that project. I'll crop out the eyes. Just give it to me.
I feel like
send it to me. My email address is.
They might have, because so basically how they did it in short, right? You're welcome to jump in and tell me, Sash, you're lying to the viewers at any point. But this is how I understand how they did it.
Yeah.
So obviously Harrison Ford has been working with Lucasfilms, the production company, for years. I mean, he was in all the Star Wars. Mm-hmm. He was in Indiana Jones, which was Lucasfilm. So they've got so much content of Harrison Ford's face throughout the years. And then what they do now is they've taken all of those images, and they've taught the software to now use basically and replace Harrison Ford's old face with this new face. So I think what's cool is that it's an achievement for Lucasfilms because they were able to do something, and they were able to take like all of those previous years' footage and like use that now to create something in the future. So I think that whole element of it is cool. Yeah. That like you're going back into the archives and you're actually using like, hey guys, remember when we worked on this like 30 years ago? I knew we were going to use this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they used all of the footage that they already had to now create something fresh and new. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
Exactly.
And the fact that Harrison Ford got to do it with them was also really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually says that he felt like it was really his face. The younger version of
Yes. So that's pretty good when you're like, wow, they did a good job. I think what's also cool is that
if he felt it was his younger
it is
self.
a younger version of his face. So I think that is also for me it was just the eyes. Like at first I was like, wait, did they? And then I was
staring at, because I like to stare at the face, because like the cheeks specifically, because it's a bigger area of skin. And you often don't see a lot of detail in the face. It's almost like the smudge, which they do. But I know I was watching a YouTube video about how far Weta Digital has gone with their technology, with even like how they stretch the pores in the it was just it was that movie with Will Smith.
Gemini Man.
With Gemini Man. If you go look at Gemini Man, how you see the detail. Now, that was Weta Digital. The detail in his face, like you can see his pores, and even when his face moves, it's not just the skin that's stretching, but the pores are also opening and stretching. So they're getting, but yes.
I know that's crazy because I remember Weta Digital getting like the skeletal structure of a 3D model. I remember them, and that was years ago. Yeah. I mean, like we've had that around, but like they were specifically going into not just like the skeleton, not just like the skeleton, but the muscles and like everything. I think it was specifically with the Hobbit. I think that was that time then. So now, like how they've now gone even further, where it's now like just the pores of skin. Detail. So
Weta Digital has really, really cranked it up there. So I decided to just do something interesting. I've got 5 questions that people asked on Google. All right, this is not, what do they call it? So-and-so ask Google's whatever questions.
Yeah. Ryan answers Google's most asked questions about... No, it is. This is Ryan answers Google's most asked questions about Indiana Jones 5.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so Google asked questions. Why did Indiana Jones 5 flop? All right, the new entry could no longer rely on the goodwill built up by his first 3 films after the critical disappointment of his predecessors, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was the 2008 version.
The 4th one,
Yeah. Poor reviews and dreadful word of mouth look to now sink Lucasfilm's first theatrical release since 2019.
What did they release in 2019? Star Wars?
Maybe.
I think they did release Star Wars. Sure.
Second one, is George Lucas involved in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? It was initially reported that Lucas would not be involved in the project, although Spielberg later said that Lucas would serve as an executive producer. Of course, I would never make an Indiana Jones film without George Lucas. Right, next one. Is Indiana Jones Jones's son in Dial of Destiny? Mutt.
What?
Mutt does not appear in the new and final film.
Yes, he dies. Spoiler alert, I should have said that before.
Yes.
I thought that was a clever way to write him out. Actually, no, wait, that's how do any writers write characters out? They die. So I suppose the writers were just like, yeah. He. By the way, if you don't know what happened, he died in the Vietnam War.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Which was clever because that's why Indiana and
even speaks about it.
Yeah, that's why their marriage fell apart. That's why he was such a grumpy old man.
That was his wife at the end, right? Okay. Next one. Is Indiana Jones... No, sorry, answered. All right. Is Dial of Destiny the last Indiana Jones? So...
Oh, it's not even a yes or no, it's a so. So.
Disney announced that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny would mark Harrison Ford's final Indiana Jones film.
This is the problem. Did you hear how they worded that?
So.
Did you
They announced it.
No, did you hear they worded it? It is the last Harrison Ford Indiana.
Very cleverly answered. Audiences had questions about how Hollywood's most famous archaeologist would say his goodbyes. It would be cool if they left him in like the other time. I was like, yes, this is perfect. Leave him, let him be. He wants to be there. But, it's a Spider-Man 3 thing. It's sad but true. Okay, so next one. Which Indiana Jones was most successful? As of July 2023, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Skull was the highest grossing movie belonging to Indiana Jones series.
But it's because of the other three.
And in 2008... everybody still went to cinemas, right?
I still go to cinemas. You don't go to cinemas.
Hardly anybody goes to cinemas anymore.
No. Some of us go to cinemas, right? Some of us.
I've got a cinema in my home.
We're out here supporting the cinemas because we like going to the movies.
It's a new screen, technology. It's digital TV and you can carry it anywhere. All right, so why Indiana Jones banned in India?
What?
Yeah. Depiction of Indian people. So the scale of misrepresentation was flagrant at best and significant level of disrespect the people of India were unable to overlook. Gorging on monkey brains and snakes of devouring beetles. I remember that in some of the old, like the stuff that they would eat, and an eyeball soup. I remember the eyeball soup.
So wait, it's not this one. It's the previous ones. Okay.
That's right. The portrayal of understandably caused outrage among the community.
Wow, I did not know that Indiana Jones was banned in India.
And last question for today. Why did Spielberg leave Dial of Destiny? Now, that's what we all want to know.
Yeah, that is what we want to know.
Steven Spielberg's absence as director of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny marks the end of an era for the beloved franchise. The decision for Spielberg to step back was his own. As he wanted, here we go, here's the reason. And catch us on the next movie show. No, I'm joking.
I'm even like, wait, what?
As he wanted to pass on the reins to a new generation of filmmakers. Of course he would. That's Spielberg. So there you go. So in other words, what was his name? Mark?
James.
Yes. Had Spielberg's blessing.
There we go.
He said, go forth.
Can I be honest? There is something about a trilogy that just sometimes needs to be left at a trilogy. So like trilogies work. So first of all, the Batman trilogy, like that trilogy is so good. The first three Pirates of the Caribbean just work.
Yeah.
Then after that,
they were after money.
Yeah. And I know, like, I was watching a review. This guy was saying he loves the first three Indiana Jones. Like, for him, like, he's a movie review person. Like, that's what he does for a living. And he was like, he might even say that those three films are his favorite films of all time. So, like, there is that Lord of the Rings, the trilogy.
Exactly.
What other trilogies do we have?
Star Wars.
But the first three.
But it's
was
whack.
There three?
Yeah, it's whack because 4, 5, and 6 was created first. And it just has such a golden, like, firm, like, yeah, what a great film. Then they went back, did 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And there were other directors involved. And then it was just like,
And sometimes you just can't get back to there's something about trilogies that are just
and you know
good.
what's crazy is that Star Wars, because it was created, 70s, 80s, 90s, the 4, 5, and 6, because of the technology at that time, the grade, the quality, the look
is less.
it was just so Star Warsy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand.
And then they brought in the new technology, and like everything looks so shiny and so perfect and so.
But then also, like, I know they still do like some of the puppeteering, and then with the new stuff, the puppets just look weird.
Yeah, there was one with yoga.
You're just like,
You're like, that's a doll. That's
why, guys? Yeah. So I think that's also and it's that whole thing of they want to keep, even like Ghostbusters, they want to keep in the old, like they want to be like all like nostalgic and stuff.
Right.
But then you're just like, that looks fake, right?
At that point, all the directors are like, can we get out? We filmed it today. It doesn't look good. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when a director goes missing.
Hectic.
Contact Raymond Reddington and get a new identity and a new place to stay and get protected.
There we go. Yeah, no, but there is something about trilogies that sometimes just need to be left at the trilogy.
Most don't work.
What?
But some do work.
No, and when they do work, they're good.
Yeah.
They are just good. But then after that, like I remember watching the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean again, and those first 3 films just like, they're beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Like then the 4th one
Ruins the other 3. Yeah. One rotten pea.
and then the 5th one, you're just like trying to relive the glory days, and it's just like, no, guys, no.
They try so hard.
Like I even felt like this with Indiana Jones. Like it was like they were trying to recreate something that had already been done. Like I honestly got that vibe from yeah.
Anyway,
So,
it was a good shot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
although there was a movie that beats this film.
Yeah, no, of course.
And we need to do it. It is a film called Sound of Freedom. And it's actually, the whole film's on, it takes on the whole thing of child human trafficking, sex trafficking. That film, that was hectic. And you know what's crazy about that film?
Did you guys hear what she just said? That's because it wasn't for children's ears.
It wasn't for children.
Yeah.
Wow. But that film,
I heard it's intense.
it cost less though. It cost a whole lot less than Indiana Jones, and it outshone Indiana Jones at, like in the box office. So but that film, I've never walked out of a movie and I literally went and watched it with 3 other people. There were 4 of us, and we walked out and we were all silent. Like, normally when you walk out of the movie, it's like, oh, did you see the part? Yeah, and then that. We were all just silent. We all just walked. Like, literally, it was intense. It was very intense.
I'm scared.
No, but it's a must watch. It's a must watch, but it's very good though. And the fact that it's a true story just makes it insane. You're just like, this is, And Jim, what's his name? Jim Caviezel. I think that's how you pronounce his surname. He does a brilliant job. He really does do a good job.
From Passion of the Christ, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
So that is definitely coming up the pipeline, down, whatever. It's in the pipeline. It's coming.
It's coming up.
It isn't coming down.
Depends on how you look at it. Depends on where it's coming from.
True. Depends if gravity is in play. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But this has been the movie show.
On your favorite OSPS.
Until next week.
Cheerio.
Peace.